Good morning, everybody. Thanks to our associations, we could get together today, which is fantastic in these unusual times. I hope everybody's feeling well. And I want to talk to you today about how we can integrate the mind, body, spirit together like a finely tuned machine into our work, into our treatments, and into drawing to us quality clients and quality experiences. First of all, we are a mind, body and spirit. So let's start with the body. So with our body, we have to make sure that our body is fed proper nutrition. And there are some things today in our food chain that aren't really in tune with our natural experience of what that is. For instance, firstly, the blood. The blood has to remain alkaline, unlike our skin, which is a little bit acid, so that we can maintain our health. Now, there are doctors who have discovered that the alkalinity of the blood is important, but not all blood can break down all food. So we have to be careful if we're eating too much acidic food for our blood group. You can find out your blood group by having a blood test or by giving blood at the Red Cross, and you'll get a cup of tea and a biscuit as well. But I think it's important if you know your blood group. It does make a big difference to what you're eating and how well you stay. Antibiotics in meat and dairy and non-organic food, they do upset the system. We can't always break down everything we put into our body, so unfortunately it gets stored in the fat tissue. And if you don't have enough fat in your body will make up more fat tissue so that you can store that toxic residue. That's just what happens. And so we have to be careful about our digestive system and our excretory system so that we can move these things through and have enough fibre in our diet. The other thing is synthetic hormones. We can't break those down, so they do get stored in the fat tissue as well, the adipose tissue. Now, microwaves, I know everybody uses them. For me, they're okay to melt wax, but even heat packs have come alight in somebody's bed at night and caught on fire because the amount of generating radiation of heat starts in the centre of the product that you're putting into the microwave and heats it from the inside. They've done experiments with microwave water and ordinary water. They put them on spinach plants and the spinach plants just died. So you see, radiation kills cells, and it's been banned in Russia, microwaves, in 1975 because they noticed it was going into the kids' bedrooms and causing problems. A lot of kids got brain tumours. So this is very important to remember. If we're going to kill our food and then eat it. Sometimes when I go out for lunch or something, I found that when I get home, I'm really hungry. That's because I eat organic food, and when the food's genetically modified or not nutritious, it just doesn't fulfill or satisfy the diet. So when you get home, you're still hungry. So this is something to consider. Now, there's also x-rays. It's no wonder that the dentist leaves the room when they x-ray you because they don't want weeks and weeks of radiation going into themselves. So you have to think about radiation on a regular basis because it is all around us. In our phones, in our laptops, computers, the blue light can be a little bit dangerous, especially for men, because we're having so much IVF lately, and men are putting their phones in their back pocket, their front pocket, on their lap. You have to think about the blue light. All these tests have been done to prove that there can be problems here. We've spoken about foods, genetically modified foods. They're not natural. A lot of the foods, fruit and vegetables in the supermarket are genetically modified. They start with genetically modified seeds, and they're not making it known that they are there. But when you eat organic, you can taste the difference. You're not fulfilled, and the flavour and the smell, the perfume of the fruit and vegetables, it just isn't there like when we were kids, So we have to think about what we're putting into our system. Most of the corn is genetically modified, and it's in everything, corn syrups and all that sort of thing. It's GMO. We can't break it down. Sometimes you can get cellulose that can't be broken down by the body, and that will go into the fat tissue to be stored because what can the body do with it? If you're eating it constantly, you're going to have inflammation in the body. So this is where looking after our body is really important, as opposed to, having an imbalance in the mind, body and spirit. One thing I wanted to mention is about farm fish. Now, farm fish, I think you've seen the documentaries on TV where they colour the salmon and, they inject it with chicken pellets. I didn't know that fish ate chicken, but in this case they are, and then we're eating the chicken. So it's really not a good thing. I haven't been able to have salmon, and I love it so much. But unless you live in Alaska or you've got a pet bear or something, I don't think you're going to get fresh salmon as much as we used to. So it's worth noting to get your blood group and see the alkaline foods. You can just Google highly beneficial foods for whatever blood group you are, and then you'll know what to eat to keep your blood alkaline and to keep your health. So that's just a few things. One other thing, which a lot of people do, is fry their food, and that makes a process which is not anti-aging. It's called glycation, and the fat and the oil and the sugars, they get together and form, clumps, and it's not good for our arteries or arthritis, or, it doesn't keep the blood alkaline. It's not an anti-aging tool. Okay, so let's move on to the mind. Now, in counselling, there's something called NST and PST. It sounds like a bit of a disease, but it's not. It's actually negative self-talk and positive self-talk. Now, a lot of us do have negative self-talk. We always do it. We've been doing it, since we were kids. But if you catch yourself out saying, I can't do that, you've got to say, stop, I can, I am doing it, I'm very good at it. You've just got to catch yourself out and then pick yourself up on that and replace it with a PST, a positive self-talk. You can do affirmations to focus your mind on renewing that other talk. You're replacing it with that other negative talk. Find an affirmation that replaces it. Instead of saying, I'm no good at that, say, I'm really great at that. This is what we have to do in order to focus our mind. So we've got our nutrition for our body. Now we need nutrition for the mind. We need the focus. Like sports people, they actually see themselves winning. They see themselves running, jumping, dancing, skipping, holding the trophy above their head. They absolutely love what they're doing with their body. They've got top nutrition, supplements and what have you. And they have the nutrition of the mind, total focus. Total focus of the body and the mind is going to win that trophy. Now, when the mind goes down, the body and the spirit will follow. Have you ever noticed people who are very spiritual minded and they're quite well read and what have you, but they're always sick, they don't feel well? Or they're really going to the gym all the time, racing around, going to the gym, having supplements, all that sort of thing, but they're not spiritually aware and their mind's all over the place. That's because they're not balanced, integrated in the mind, body and the spirit. So with the mind, we can say what we want to be. If we're saying in the mind, what we're not, then that's what we'll get. We're very good at visualising and thinking things that are not what we really want. And then, of course, the spirit of the body picks up on those things, and the physiology of the body plays them out. We know the mind's really powerful because they've done experiments where they took people back to when they were an age where they absolutely adored their life. You could be 6, 16 or 30, but if you think of that age that you were when you loved what you were doing, where you were living, your home, your people you were with, your friends, the things you were doing, your job, everything you ate, and think of it joyously, like really relive it. They've done experiments and they found that the people who did that, they could throw away their walking stick, their blood pressure went down, their cholesterol went down, and they looked really younger. It's an anti-aging tool. Try it out with someone. Look at them before and then do that anti-aging thing and then look back at them and they're going to look younger. It's called quantum physics, and we can put ourselves in a position where we feel fantastic, visualise it, and that has a positive effect on our spiritual and mental and physiological body. So you can say every morning when you wake up, my biological age is set at whatever age you think you felt the most joyous, the happiest. And you'll find, if you say that every morning, that your physiology or your body will start acting like that, like when you were whatever age you're saying. Now, so whatever you're programming your mind with, that is what is going to be produced. It's like a play. You know, if you see yourself winning, you will win. I mean, admittedly, I've been seeing myself win the lottery a few times. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm not giving up. So some focus things for the mind are crosswords, puzzles, reading. You can study. There's lots of courses online you can do because the brain needs stimulation to create brain cells. And so it's, you know, semi-retirement or retirement, whatever we're doing in these difficult times, we still have to use our brain and stimulate our brain cells. It's important. And we can do sewing, gardening, anything that you love to do and that you focus your mind on that takes some sort of, you know, programming from you, some sort of focus from you. Now, some crystals for focus are golden apatite, not the yum yum apatite, it's a different sort of apatite, golden apatite, blue topaz, citrine, and fluorite. Those sort of crystals are good to have around you if you're studying, also the colour yellow, if you're needing to focus on study or just anything that you're doing. Now, one thing that has never changed over the years is the power of touch. The power of touch is an ancient art and people come to us to be touched. Babies can die without being touched. We know that. So I want to tell you about the temple in Dendera in Egypt. It's still there today, 4,000 years later. It's absolutely beautiful. It was a spa, and the goddess Hathor, she oversaw all the things that were happening there. And people would come to the spa. It was the most beautiful aqua and gold colours, and it's still there today. It's absolutely fascinating. You can look up online, the Dendera temple. And people would come there and they would drink of the waters, the sacred waters, and they would bathe in the waters, and then they would stay overnight in the temple and go to sleep, hoping that the goddess Hathor would visit them in their dreams and take away their burdens and bring them benevolent blessings. And people still fall asleep on our facial beds today, don't they? Sometimes it's hard to wake them up. So this is some ancient things that we can bring from the ancient areas and bring it into our own practice. The colours, the layout of temples, you know, the music. I play harp music when I do my facials, and I can't change it because the clients won't let me. They want the harp music, so, you know, it's harp music here. Now, having said that, that is a spiritual practice, taking from the ancients what we can use in our own practice and raising the vibration of ourselves so that we don't get depleted by too much work and physical effort. We can integrate the mind, body and spirit together, and this can produce quality work without tiring out, and something different for the clients and a way to attract quality towards us in our practice and in our life. A spiritual practice doesn't have to be anything completely formally religious. It can be anything you do with passion and love that raises the vibration in you and makes you feel absolutely buoyant. You know, it could be like riding a bike, riding a horse, something you did when you were a child, decorating, things with colour, music, singing. You can write affirmations, make your own affirmations. You can do meditation practice, ballet, dancing, painting, cooking, craft, needlework. Anything you can do to raise the vibration. Meditation quietens the mind, and this is where the spirits can rise. Your spirits can't really rise when there's a lot of activity around you and there's aggravation or you're busy. The whole idea is to integrate the mind, the body and the spirit to be on the same page with the same kind of nutrition that's right for that, modem. And then you'll feel as one. So anything done on a regular basis that makes you feel high, try to find one of those practices. Even if you just do one practice, one bit of meditation, one bit of gardening or whatever it is you love to do, just for 5 minutes a day. It's the discipline that we need to do to start something and carry it through. So even if you've only got a minute to spare, as long as you're focused in the mind, body and spirit doing that thing, you will feel the benefits. And other people around you will also feel the benefits because you'll be in sync and you'll be feeling in harmony. And that's really important today because we can see what's happening around us where people aren't in harmony. And instead of doing a spiritual practice, they may be taking chemicals in antidepressants or things like that, which aren't really anything to do with spirituality. They actually stop the body from feeling sensation and empathy. And something which isn't general knowledge, I don't think, I just found out recently, is that they can be a side effect of those drugs and other drugs too that can cause depression and make depression worse. So you have to think about that. Alcohol too, as you know, dries out the skin and, it's not a nutrient. That's what I tell my clients. It's not a nutrient, So a couple of things I wanted to tell you can add to your spiritual practice. Perhaps if you're doing manicures, you can expand your business by increasing it by asking a palm reader to come in and maybe do some nail art. You can hire those people, they come in once a month, and that expands that manicure into a 3-part expansion business. And then if you're doing pedicures, you can do reflexology. You can learn that yourself or become a podiatrist or hire a podiatrist. So a podiatrist, a reflexologist and a pedicurist together, that could be another expansion for your business. Also, if someone's having a body scrub, a full body massage, they might enjoy having a psychic reading or a counsellor or a mentor come in. Or there's chakra healing, chakra rebalancing and crystal healing. These are things we can take from the ancients and bring them into our own business because the world is expanding now, people are evolving and they do require something more. Perhaps they require something more from you. And when the mind, body and spirit is deeply in harmony, as it is if you follow these practices, you'll find that you'll attract a lot more quality to you, to your practice, to your treatments. Your clients will think, something's different about this. What is it? They won't be able to put their finger on it, but it's something in you that is working in harmony and it's flowing into them. And so that is something we can take into maybe 2021. I feel that will be a much better year for us. And I'm just going to tell you that the lucky colours for 2021, they're going to be yellow and lime and grey and white and silver. So I really hope to see you in 2021 and I wish you all the blessings of health and abundance for 2021. So bye for now.